missing paperwork.
We're meant to have 54 rush bags, we've got 68, so something ain't right.
And a missing US president.
It's a lovely aircraft, beautiful. Paint it orange, you can take our passengers to Liverpool. Very nice.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away.
It's midday and heavy fog has settled over Luton Airport. Not a single Easyjet flight has landed or taken off for 3 hours. As a result, Liverpool, Easyjet's second base, is taking in the diverted flights and busing the passengers back down to Luton. Supervisor Joanne Dempsey has been sorting out the disruption.
All the aircraft that were meant to go into Luton this morning have come here. We've had 4 to now. And they're just, as I say, they're just waiting for the weather to clear so that the planes can go back down there. Otherwise, we're going to get more in this afternoon.
But with planes that should be flying in and out of Luton sitting motionless on the Liverpool tarmac, the day's timetable is a write-off. Even by early evening, with the fog now lifted, the situation at Luton is chaotic. And with thousands stranded, it's about to get even worse.
This is an important information announcement. Due to earlier adverse weather conditions at Luton, check-in is currently suspended.
Predictably, the passengers aren't impressed.
Don't take that is not good enough.
It is unbelievably disorganised.
Due to the adverse conditions at Luton.
They don't affect the check-in.
This is the most appalling piece of customer service I have ever come across.
In the firing line for the angry passengers are Supervisor Helen Skeggs and new boy Leo Jones. Leo only finished training 2 weeks ago.
You're having a lot, I wish I was, seriously not.
Today is a baptism of fire.
I experienced a 7-hour delay coming in from Amsterdam. My bags were offloaded off a Monarch airplane because Easyjet didn't have a jet the right size to accommodate 3 flights they tried to cram together. My bag was offloaded onto the tarmac, soaking wet. My bag is now soaking wet, and no representative at the airport will do anything for me. Everything's wet on the bottom.
What I need for you to do is just tell me if there's any...
Glenn Rage is a man living up to his name, and Leo's got to placate him.
My bag was sitting in a puddle. When I complained about this to the Easyjet people and the Monarch people, I got a load of lip from some Dutch guy, and a cop came over and told me to keep my mouth shut and get on the plane. And I had absolutely no assistance from anybody. That's the way Easyjet operates. Thank you very much, Easyjet. Great job.
Up in the skies, unaffected by the disruptions, Captain Mike Jameson is piloting the evening flight from Liverpool to Belfast.
It's going to be bumpy at Belfast now.
He and co-pilot Gary Lucas know that when they land, they've got the rare luxury of a stopover in Northern Ireland.
The hotel in Belfast is actually a beautiful hotel. Nice facilities, staff are extremely friendly there. I do enjoy going there. And it just happens to have a golf course, and we just happen to have our golf clubs in the forward hold.
Mike's been egging me on for this game. I've golfed for quite a while now, and it's going to be a shame to take the money off him, but that's what I'm going to have to do tomorrow, unfortunately.
I've only got 50p anyway. I mean, that's it. In loose change.
Back at Luton, Mr. Rage is still in full flow.
Delay that we experienced. You know what you gave us in Amsterdam? Let me tell you what you gave us. You gave us something worth 11 gulden. That's enough to buy a piece of pie and a glass of water.
We refunded your flight as well. So you didn't
Nobody's told me that.
They should have told you.
Who's going to put that in writing for me?
No problem. You can come over to the desk with me and we can start filling out the form. Hey, Lisa's going to fill out the form for you.
Leo's diffused the situation. Time for the paperwork.
Rage, W-R-A-G-E.
Never again. I want to see this little orange black thing logo up there.
With the insurance forms filled in, Glenn Rage can expect a full refund on his flight, but will have to wait for news about his damaged clothes. Up at Liverpool, there's news of a different kind coming over the airwaves.
Radio Merseyside News, keeping you in touch.
I'm joined now by Rod Hill, Managing Director of the airport. Mr. Hill, how
The big story on the local bulletin is that Easyjet are planning to axe their Liverpool-Luton service in 3 months' time. The reason? A row with Luton Airport over landing fees.
Well, I think it's disappointing because it takes away choice, and it would have been ideal if we could have maintained that service. I think from the airport's perspective, what we have to look at is whether we can find another airline that will operate a service into another London airport.
For the passengers who use the route, it's a big surprise.
I'm quite actually shocked, really, that they're cancelling it because most of the flights are fairly full, so I can't understand why.
It's a loss to Liverpool and its surrounding area because Liverpool's a large place.
I use it as an alternative to the train, and in current circumstances it's considerably better than the train.
The airline staff, however, have mixed feelings.
They're not the best flights because they're mainly business passengers and they generally cut it really fine at check-in, and a lot of them don't get accepted, and obviously they've got business deals to do. They're not happy about it. They do get quite upset sometimes at the desk when you say they can't travel.
They're the ones who cause the most trouble and cause the riots, and they start to, they crowd around the desk and they want to know why this and why that. They're just the worst passengers to deal with of all time, especially when they've got a delay.
Down at Luton, Helen and Leo are off to face some of those dreaded Luton-Liverpool passengers. The earlier fogs affected the flight, and it's been a tough day already.
It is a long day. Started at 4 this morning, now 2100 hours. Knackers.
Oh, we're still here.
And there's going to be no let-up for Helen and Leo. The Luton-Liverpool plane is being used on another route. Now it's their job to tell the passengers they're going by coach, and it will take 4 hours.
All Easyjet passengers travelling to Liverpool, if you can please assemble at departure gate number 22.
As Leo prepares to deliver the bad news, Helen gets a call from operations.
Hiya, can you come back to passenger service office, like, immediately?
Right, what should I just leave Leo on his own here to deal with this?
Apparently so, yes.
All right, on my way.
Now Leo, who's still learning the ropes, must face the passengers on his own.
Right, I'm going to get back, all right?
Okay.
All right.
In Belfast, Captain Mike Jameson and co-pilot Gary Lucas are coming into land.
Can be wet around Mike.
But as Mike and Gary head for the terminal, they spot a special plane on the ground.
What's going on here?
It's Air Force One, the special jet of the President of the USA, Bill Clinton. And it's going to have a big impact on Mike and Gary's relaxing game of golf tomorrow. But Leo's day at work is far from over. There's no plane for the Luton-Liverpool passengers, and he's the one who's got to tell them.
The Liverpool flight, unfortunately, has been cancelled, reactionary of adverse weather conditions that we had here this morning.
EasyJet just seem like check, really, because they don't do nothing. Look, how many people here? 30 people just standing there doing. Is this how normal customers are treated? Like you
well, they're cancelling all the Liverpool flights in a few months anyway, so they don't care about us anymore.
The bus drop us. 3 hours. Wait, if you knew this before, why didn't you tell us before?
We didn't. If I would have known earlier, I would have told everybody earlier.
That something was going on.
We didn't. We're going to send you on a bus to Liverpool.
A bus?
A bus to Liverpool. Bus is due here in about an hour.
But with EasyJet, that'll put me in about 2 hours, will it? Yeah.
Yeah, more than likely.
And that'll get cancelled.
So that's the estimate that we've been given to by the coach company.
Yeah.
I won't be home till 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no flights coming out. I'm not joking.
So far, Leo's done well. He's in control. The passengers head off to reclaim their bags. But Leo's not off the hook yet. He's still got to sort out the coach. After the break, Jane Bolton has trouble dispatching planes.
Got a slot in 4 minutes, not going to make it.
And Mike Jameson has trouble dispatching golf balls.
Oh, I don't believe it.
At Liverpool Airport, it's been a quiet night for Supervisor Leanne Chung. But there is one problem. A passenger who appears to have had one too many.
How do we get to Dublin? How do you get to Dublin?
You have to use Ryanair service.
How do you get to that?
You have to book it with the travel agents or over the telephone with them.
How do we get to Dublin?
We don't travel to Dublin, so you won't be travelling with us.
Yeah. How do we get to Dublin?
However you want to get to Dublin. Can I help you?
Yeah.
You have to travel with Ryanair.
How do we get to Dublin?
I was crying too.
Jesus,
Outside the terminal in Luton, new boy Leo's still up against it. He's trying to get the delayed Liverpool passengers onto the coach.
Walking to Liverpool, are we?
But there's another problem looming that he won't have faced before.
What we're waiting for at the moment, if we need 2 buses, which we might, we're going to be waiting about 2 hours. Not very happy people. Fingers crossed we could squash them all onto this one.
Is there a possibility that it's going to fill up?
We're hoping not. We've had a few passengers offloaded.
Haven't you actually thought of counting people so people know in advance and you know to get another coach?
We've got another one on its way. Right. We can't get that for some time, so I'm hoping that we can fit everyone on here.
But as Leo stalls for time over whether to hire another coach, the passengers are getting worried about their luggage.
I ain't coming in tomorrow. Why did you tell us to get on the coach and the luggage would go on? Well, I just thought that it was getting left there, and if I hadn't got the coach, it'd have been left there. So why don't you do what you say?
I would have made sure it would have gone on.
It's just getting worse.
What bags are going on?
The coach is filling up. Leo thinks quickly and calls for a minibus.
Yeah, we need them as soon as possible. Like yesterday, like we always do. All right then. Cheers. Bye, bye. Okay, yeah.
How many are we expecting on this coach?
Full.
As the coach pulls off, Leo's left wondering whether his work is appreciated.
Will I get any waves? Yeah, a couple.
And the passengers left behind wonder whether they'll ever get home.
It's 11 o'clock.
We should have landed. We'll probably be arriving in Liverpool about 3 o'clock this morning.
I have to go to Dublin, probably.
Meanwhile, Leanne still hasn't got the message across that Easyjet don't fly to Dublin.
Yes, the information desk for the reservation. Goes to the information desk for Ryanair.
How do I get to Dublin? How do I get to Ryanair? You went Ryanair? No. Ryanair. I go to Dublin tonight. I'm going to Dublin.
Even if the airline did fly to Dublin, Leanne wouldn't have let the passenger travel.
I wouldn't have let that gentleman travel because he was drunk. And the policy is that passengers who are under the influence of alcohol are not allowed to travel on an aircraft due to safety reasons.
Down at Luton, it's also fairly quiet now.
Midnight! We should have been home an hour ago.
I'm not feeling.
Thank you.
The minibus has arrived, so Leo can say goodbye to the last of his passengers. But it's been a tough night.
It's been absolutely manic. Hope I don't have another day like this for some time.
The minibus heads off for Merseyside. After an 18-hour shift, Leo can finally call it a day. It's late morning in Belfast, and Captain Mike Jameson and co-pilot Gary have made it onto the golf course.
Beat that.
The third hole has a tricky water hazard, and Mike's in trouble.
I always have a mental blockage when water comes into play. Ah! Splish splash.
But Mike has another go.
Ah, I don't believe it.
And another. And the swans are getting nervous.
Oh, give up, you can have the hole.
Thankfully for Mike, though, the golf's got to be put on hold. Bill Clinton's Air Force One is causing problems at the airport, and the pair have been called back early.
That was really good, that wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Hey, we must do this again. We really must do this again. Shame we've got to go to work this afternoon.
In Luton, it's bitterly cold. Braving the elements is Jane Bolton. She's left passenger services after 3 years to become a dispatcher.
Shanky Romy from Aberdeen, now on stand number 8.
Jane's been in her new role for a month, and it's still high pressure. From the moment the aircraft comes to a halt, she has just 25 minutes to supervise refueling and reloading before the plane takes off again. But there's an extra worry for Jane today. Because of yesterday's problems, there's extra baggage to be loaded onto the Malaga flight.
These rush bags, basically these are the bags that they're not accompanied by a passenger. They should have gone on an earlier flight. Should have gone on this morning's flight, or yesterday's, but they didn't. So I think probably what it is with some of the cancelled flights, we've still got people's bags, so they're going today for them. Well, we've got 54, but this says we've got 68. It's a nightmare.
Jane has spotted a discrepancy in the paperwork that could delay the plane. It could also prevent the rush bags being reunited with their owners. Her 25-minute turnaround is under threat.
We're meant to have 54 rush bags. We've got 68, so something ain't right. Yeah, I'm missing an unaccompanied baggage manifest for 6 rush bags. I haven't got 54, I've got 60 out here.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, we'll search around in here, but we can't see anything in here. Okay.
I'm missing a bit of paperwork for 6 bags, and if I don't find them, I'm going to have to go for all 60 of them and find the 6 that I haven't got, which could, well, take ages. An hour.
Over in Belfast, Captain Mike Jameson and his crew are on their way to the airport, unsure about how the security arrangements surrounding Bill Clinton's visit will affect them.
As far as I know, the RUC are closing off all the link roads to the airport, so that there's no traffic to and from the airport between 4 o'clock and I think 7 o'clock, as far as I know. And we're supposed to leave at 25 past 6, which is right in the middle of it, basically. So it looks as though we're going to be delayed as a result. It could cause chaos at the airport, but we'll just have to wait and see when we get there.
At the airport, Bill Clinton's plane Air Force One is being prepared for departure. The president has been taking part in talks on the Northern Ireland peace process. Air Force One won't be going anywhere until the president's ready. Out in the airport car park, Mike Jameson's trying to get some information on what's going on.
Yeah, depending on Bill Clinton. Yes.
The airport is still open to passengers, but it's uncertain what kind of delays the president is going to cause.
Our operations can't get an answer from anybody, and I don't think anybody here knows what's going on either at the moment, so we just play it by ear.
Sorry?
You haven't got an unaccompanied baggage manifest in there by any chance, have you, for 6 bags?
No, we haven't.
OK.
In Luton, Jane Bolton's having no luck in her search to find the missing paperwork for the Malaga flight. Only the bags that Jane can tick off can be loaded, and it's a time-consuming task.
It's going to take forever, isn't it?
Valuable time is being lost, and the captain is anxious to get underway. If Jane can't sort it out, the plane could be badly delayed.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I found it.
You found it? All right, I'll come and get it then. Got 'em. Thank you. Found the manifest. I'll go and get the paperwork.
It's taken 15 precious minutes to find the paperwork. The loaders are now free to get the bags on board, but Jane's run out of time. New departure slots can be hard to get.
Got a slot in 4 minutes, not going to make it. Hello.
Who's got a slot? Do you need that pushed?
Yeah, just for 10 minutes, please, because they're still putting the bags on.
Okay.
It's been a tense time for Jane Bolton in her new role as a dispatcher.
Cheers, me dearie.
But she can send off the plane, knowing the captain should be able to make up the 10-minute delay en route. It's now early evening in Belfast, and Air Force One is still no closer to departure. For security, the airspace around the airport has been closed, but Bill Clinton still hasn't arrived to take his flight. Mike Jameson has joined the other passengers in the viewing gallery to get a look at the world's most famous plane.
That's President Clinton's personal 747 sitting on the tarmac at the moment. When he goes, hopefully we can operate our flight to Liverpool. But at the moment, we don't know when he's going to go, so we just have to sit here and wait. So it's a lovely aircraft, beautiful. Painted orange, you can take our passengers to Liverpool. Very nice.
Do you remember, Reese, those photo albums that were found in that bag?
For Jane Bolton, it's the end of the day. Time for a quick coffee with her old friends and colleagues, Katrina and Helen from Passenger Services.
How are you liking dispatch?
Got a lot of responsibility down there. More responsibility, I suppose, actually, now I'm doing it than I thought before. At the end, you know, obviously you sign the paperwork saying that, yeah, everything on that aircraft is definitely kosher and you know about it, and then you're the one who does the walk around and checks every hatch is secure and closed. God forbid, if anything ever happened, my name's on it. So you're basically responsible for however £1 million aircraft and 149 lives plus the crew.
But even with the extra pressure, Katrina's noticed a change for the better in Jane. Being away from angry passengers seems to suit her.
Neurotic woman that I am.
Must admit, you do look happier.
I'm a happier person. Everyone says to me now, God, you look so more relaxed. I must have been one big stress head.
Over in Belfast, Bill Clinton has finally arrived, which means Air Force One is on its way.
And a Mach for takeoff of 17.31.
At last, Mike Jameson can start his pre-flight checks.
Plus nothing. We're now running... We're going to be, looks like, running about 2 hours late, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to be able to catch up much tonight. But we'll do our best. We'll see what we can do.
As the rest of the crew get the plane ready for takeoff, Mike spotted some differences in the way Easyjet and Air Force One operate.
Our passengers walk from the terminal. I think their passengers actually came via limo. And I don't think they had to wait for the caterers either.
The last Luton-Liverpool passengers finally arrived at 4:30 in the morning. The passenger looking for Dublin was refused permission to fly by Ryanair. And Bill Clinton is now using alternative forms of transport.
Mr. Last one here.
Charm is in short supply.
You're a right slapper. Thank you a lot.
I could have got a bloody train down there.
Tempers are tested.
You can't just cancel flights.
And Leo goes for promotion.
I feel that I've got enough confidence now and the ability to move on. I need a challenge.